Presenter is Tamás, Erős. He is the head of BIM services at Opinion Builders, and his presentation called AI Architectural Intern. And as an architect, since the beginning of his professional career, he is interested in how IT tools aid the architectural design process. He and his team actively research these new tools, looking for their place in the digitalization of AEC sector. So the stage is yours.
Thank you, Esti. Hello, guys. I will start with the metaverse. I will talk about digital technology, starting with the metaverse. You could ask the question why anyone in 2023 talks about the metaverse. It's dead, it's over, it's so last year. And you are right. But last year, with my team, we researched a little bit the metaverse, what is it, what technology it's based on, and how we architects can connect to it. So we got together with this metaverse startup called Foodverse. They wanted to revolutionize how chefs are trained. They had everything laid out and the launch planned for the Dubai Expo event. And they asked us to design restaurants for the virtual world that will be showcased on VR glasses. So with a few architects in our office, we started designing virtual restaurants. And the guys really liked this exercise because they didn't have to deal with constraints like gravity or pressure or anything like that, structural strengths. So they could design restaurants among the trees in a tropical forest, under the sea, or a more traditional Japanese sushi restaurant. But besides that, what we learned is the virtual reality technology, how a three-dimensional model that we've been building for years can be implemented into Unreal Engine and put into a VR glass. And VR is actually a great tool to show things that are not there yet or not there anymore. So we use this technology in other projects since then as well. And the next one will be a small church in Hungary, in Velemér, south of Hungary. It's an Árpád-era church, a rather famous one with a story. So at the beginning of this year, or spring, my colleagues went there and surveyed the church with laser scanning, point cloud technology, and as well as photogrammetry to construct digital twin of this church. And it's a famous church because it's called Church of Light, and it has a story as the light shines through the windows throughout the day and throughout the year. It illuminates different parts of the fresco, telling a story. But when you visit this church, you cannot experience this story because you are there for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and the sun doesn't move that much. But if we encompass this experience in a VR glass, you really get to see what it's all about, how the light moves in this church, and you can experience it in different times of the day, different times of the year. So we found that VR is a really great tool to show this experience to others. But let's zoom out a little bit, and let me tell you how technology helps us understand bigger concepts and bigger areas. In this project, the Enying Green City project, my colleagues surveyed the utilization of bicycle paths around the Lake Balaton, and they found that the site that they were designing for is not really connected to anything. In another example, by my colleague Bálint Kádar's research, photographs taken by tourists are shown in Palma de Mallorca, showing the paths the tourists take and the areas that they explore, and of course the areas that they leave intact. And with these data, actually, and the more data we have a better understanding of the surrounding area in a bigger concept. Here you will see, the map of Budapest with the color codes, how each street, each square, each space is integrated into the urban mesh. And it was also part of a bigger project, the Student City project for Snohetta, and our team helped them understand the location of that site. And if we have all this data, if we have all this information, we can set the perimeters of a design and utilize algorithms to design different options, different variations for us. And of course, the more data we have, the more accurate the computer can generate options and variations. We can tweak functions, building heights, arrangements, vary different topography, and the computer can generate hundreds or even thousands of options for us. And we can introduce analysis into the process to examine these different options. Sun study, solar study, life cycle assessment, functional square meterage. And of course, we can filter these variations to find the best suitable design option for that site. And we can, of course, take that and tweak it further, design it, and evolve that concept. And some architecture offices, some researchers go even further, using computer learning algorithms to teach artificial intelligence models to design entire buildings. Of course, some of this is in research phase or more an artistic exploration. Some of these buildings are actually being built right now. We are researching AI in our studio as well. What you see here is a typical architectural rendering, which is sort of close to photorealistic look, right? It was generated by AI with the help of one of our architectural interns, actually, in the office. And she didn't need to know 3ds Max in a very deep level to generate all these. All you need is a very schematic screenshot of a very schematic 3D model, and then you can already explore different materials, different fabrics, different vegetations, different time of the day to see what fits your project better. And get hundreds and even more options. But when we talk about technology and when we learn technology, we need to keep in mind if it's a hype or if it has real value to our practice. This is the Gartner hype cycle, which sort of helps you understand where each technology is at the moment. And I start with the metaverse. It's in the valley, of course. It doesn't mean that it's never going to come up. But what gives technology value? One aspect that I brought is if it increases productivity. And I believe AI tools already can increase productivity, like what you saw with those renderings. And it helps the entire construction industry to increase its productivity, which is highly needed. But of course, I only talked about the design part, not the construction part. In our office, we believe technology is not going to replace people, but help us to be better architects, better designers, better engineers, and overall helps our firm to provide better and more service to our clients. If you are interested, feel free to reach out. Thank you very much.